We welcome in head coach Antonio Pierce for the first time this year. And, Coach, it's go time. How you feeling?
I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Our team's ready to go. Our coaching staff, we're excited. We're excited. It's been a great offseason, a great training camp we had in Costa Mesa, finishing up here in Vegas. Going through the preseason. Now we got our team together, right? And now it's got our 53-man roster. Now we can really just dial into the Raiders, into our concepts and our philosophies, and go out there and put on a good product.
You've been talking about the physicality of this team for a while, how physical you want them to be, set the tone. A good test with the Chargers, who want to play physical up front too.
Yeah, it's bully ball, both sides of the ball for us. So it's going to be really good. Good test for us out the gate. Obviously, a lot of respect for what Harbaugh has done in his career. Just as a player, as a coach, everywhere he goes, he finds a way to win. And those guys play hard and they play physical. So we know what to expect. So, but, it's about us, and we're talking about how the style play we want to do and our identity and our DNA. So, again, nothing better than a divisional foe on the road, nice physical challenge.
Slater and Alt, what they have up front, they bring in two big running backs. So you're expecting they want to run the ball because Harbaugh, I'm not going to talk about his college career. He had a great pro career too. But the ability for your defensive line to be up for this challenge, especially in the interior, stopping the run.
It's going to be huge. Christian, Big John Jenkins, Adam Butler. I mean, they're going to they got to bring in workers' hat, right? They got to be blue-collar guys this week, and it's going to be critical. And really for the linebackers, the second level, and our secondary guys to support because they're going to do a lot of things where they're going to force our corners and our back end to show up in a run game. So really good challenge. We had some moments during the preseason where we had to tweak some things and make some adjustments, and that's good. That's what the preseason is for. And the gentlemen now know that, hey, listen, it's go time. We got to button up with our technique and the things that we're actually doing in defense.
Securing the edge with Malcolm and Maxx is a pretty important part in this game. You feel like you got two great players at the top of their game to do that.
Yeah, I know everybody talks about what they do, rushing the passer. Yeah. But really, really, really pleased with Malcolm Koonce in the run game, man. I think it's an understatement that he's a complete defensive end. He did a great job at the end of the season, rushing the passer. But really go look at his run stops. Look at him against the run, setting the edge, being physical, condensing those guys back and making plays. So he's gotten better. He's way more confident than he ever has been since I've been here. And you already know what you're getting with Maxx each and every play. I mean, he's going to give you full-blown effort. But more importantly, Maxx is now comfortable. This is his third year in the same system. And that's a big plus for him and us.
I look at this team, the ability to stop the run is going to be important, but you worked a lot on the cornerbacks and the depth, bringing in Jack who can play there, and on the other side, Jacorian, and two really good safeties with experience. I want to start from the back end of your defense and how this matchup will affect them.
Yeah, I think it's critical, and I'm not even just with the corners. I think with Epps and Trayvon.
Yeah.
Them kind of the orchestra that we got with them guys rocking and rolling and controlling the back end, and with communication, which is really key for us. In the back end, to Nate Hobbs, to Jack Jones. But, some good matchups there. I mean, they drafted a young player out of Georgia who's a really good player. They got some dynamic threats down the field, some big wide receivers that can run. And at the end of the day, listen, man, they got a top 10, top 5, whatever you want to say, quarterback in National Football League. They got a really, really good quarterback that we respect the heck out of, and he can make that throw down the field. We know that ball can travel 60, 70 yards down the field. So we got to be smart, got to have eye discipline and keep our leverage, and just do the things that they're asking the defense. We talked about in these first month of the season, not fall into a trap of trying to make plays. Just do your job and let the plays come to you.
Well, your quarterback's pretty good, and your quarterback now is the number one after competing against Aiden O'Connell. So with Gardner Minshew, when you turned it over to him and made him the number one quarterback, can you tell our audience how he handled it, and he looked in the couple practices right after that?
Yeah, handled like a pro, kind of just like Gardner, typical Gardner kid. They're like, hey, man, you starting the quarterback. Cool. And just real steady Eddie, man. And that's the thing about him. He has a certain presence about himself. He's very calm. He looked me in the eye and said, thank you. But I said, it's not me, thank you. I thanked him for his professionalism. I thought him, Aiden, the way they handled that. There wasn't no drama. There wasn't no finger pointing. There wasn't wishing bad on another guy. They just went out there and competed.
Right.
Two gentlemen that went to compete to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders. And at the end of the day, Gardner's the guy who's going to lead us going forward. And what you see is what I've seen now in the last month of him just leading us off the field, in the meeting rooms, his presence. You can feel that throughout. And obviously when we get on the practice field here shortly, just what it's going to look like now. We got all our pieces there now, right? We got Colton Miller. We got Brock there. We got Devontae. So everybody's here now. So now we settle down. Luke Getsy can call what he wants to call, and everybody can feel a little bit more comfortable.
Coach, I want to wrap it up with that. The 12 personnel, the two tight end set. You have two potential elite young tight ends in this league. Do they have this down? They're ready to go because they can block, they can go downhill and make a couple of big plays. Yeah. I think that's going to be prevalent with you getting out of L.A. with a win.
Man, I don't know where the limit is with these guys, and I don't want to put it on them in week one, but damn, they're good. They are. Yeah. I mean, and they complement each other so well. And they compete so well against one another in practice. And it's bringing out the best of them, too. That's another thing that this whole competition, this battle that we've gone through in training camp with our team has brought out the best of our players. And I think you got two different styles now. Mm-hmm. Brock and Mike, two different body types, more important. But I love that we got two guys, one, great receivers, great with the ball in their hand, blocking. What they do in a run game for us is really, really, really critical, and I'm excited to see them against two premier defensive ends, right? Khalil Mack and Bosa. So we'll have our hands full, but they'll have their hands full too, guard those gentlemen.
And Zamir, tell us about him and Ready. Fans I talked to on the radio, they don't know what to expect. Yeah. They saw him at the end of the year, and he was explosive, but we haven't seen him much. What can we expect from Zeus coming into this game?
Yeah, I think what we've gone to offensively with the wide zone and outside scheme in the run game, I think that's been really beneficial for him. Mm-hmm. He can hit it full throttle. If you've seen him, he's much bigger. Yeah. And he's still explosive. He's still in that 4-4 range, and he's going downhill. It's going to hurt, right? You really want to see Zamir from carry 15 to 20, 25. That's when it's going to be like, okay, here we go. And that's what happened last year, and that's what you saw with him. And all running backs, right? All those kind of bigger backs, explosive backs, the more they touch the ball, the better they get, especially late in the games.
Yeah, lastly, your message to the fans. We've been talking about this all offseason. This is a big one. I don't care if it's in week 8, week 12, it's week 1. You going back home to L.A., you know Raider Nation is showing up in force for this game at SoFi.
I'm excited. Yeah. We couldn't get them there at training camp, but we're going to get them there at SoFi. And if there's one thing I expect is to see a blackout. And like I always say, man, just show up, man. It's time for us to show out. And we're excited for it, and we're looking forward to the opportunity to celebrate with Raider Nation.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.